I'm Costello, and I'm here with senior captain Kate Thompson on the field hockey team, and we're just going to give you a little preview into a little behind the scenes of her life and how field hockey has affected her. So Kate, I heard you had a summer internship over in Australia. You want to explain to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. Essentially, I decided I was going to go to Australia for the summer. It was a very last-minute decision, and I sort of just went. I managed to find, however, this volunteer position in a lab, and basically I was working with extracting biomolecules from rock samples. Now, all that really is just looking at what's in the rock initially and what we can get out of it. It's sort of similar to dating the rock or anything like that. However, you're looking for the remnants of organisms and things like that. And this happens to be really cool because my interests are really in rocks and bacteria, and so this is more the rock side of things. So it ties in nicely to what I did last summer, which was more on the bacteria side of things. So.
And you also had a chance to play with their club team over there. Do you want to explain that a little bit, how it was?
I got to train with the club team, NCAA rules, no playing allowed. However, I did also get to do a practice game with one of their top level, it's sort of an entry program into the national team. It's the Western Australia Institute of Sport, and that was unbelievable. They're quite good down there, so yeah, and I think that having the opportunity to play somewhere else, and it's a different system than how we play here in the U.S., and I'm used to from back home even, and it was an interesting experience, so, and the girls were great.
And you are also from Canada, so you have learned now Canada field hockey, American field hockey, and Australia field hockey.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite? Which do you like the best? Like, was it hard to adapt coming from Canada to play on an American field hockey team?
Of course. I mean, there's similarities, absolutely, and then there are many differences. It took a little while to get used to the whole timeout. We were allowed to have one timeout per half in college field hockey. That was something that really threw me for a loop the first time it happened. I've never experienced that before. But other than that, having Coach Hornbrook, she's Canadian herself, that helped the transition from Canada to here to be very easy. She understands. She played in Canada, and she brings some of that to the team. So that was great. As for my favorite, I might have to say Australia, but not to say that I don't love it here. It's just that the experience was totally different, and that transition was difficult. They play a very different style from what I'm used to. It's a very aggressive, free-flowing sort of game, and it was a lot of fun.
So, of course, there are a lot of pregame rituals. Are you very superstitious? Because I have heard that there are milkshakes before games, like here for Cornell Women's Field Hockey, and also I heard a little something about dance parties.
I guess for me, it sort of depends on how I'm feeling about the whole milkshakes thing. It depends on what we had for dinner, but I think that it's a very neat tradition, and it means that we're all together as a team. Really it's the last thing we do, then we're going home to bed before a game, so it's brings us together a little bit at last minute. As for the dance parties, well, they're just awesome. I mean, it's one of the most fun things that you can do in a pre-game situation. I've seen some teams, y'all get each individual with their iPods in, all very focused and intense, but it's really a way for us to loosen up and enjoy ourselves before the game even starts.
How long have you been playing field hockey?
I actually started when I was 7 years old. In Vancouver, high school sports really aren't a big deal. It's really all about the club that you play for, and I've been playing for the Hawks Field Hockey Club since I was 7. I didn't really think that field hockey was where I wanted to go. I was more of a soccer player, but over the years, it really came out, and I think my whole family has kind of jumped on board these days, so it's cool.
So it seems that you were the first to play field hockey in your family, and you have actually roped your whole family in and influenced your parents, I hear, and also your younger sister, so...
Yeah, that would be the way it seems. Actually, my mom is now the president of the Hawks Field Hockey Club that I grew up playing for, and she's also joined a women's team within the club, as has my dad, though not a women's team. And both my sisters have been playing since they were 7 years old as well. I actually coached them every year until I came here to Cornell, and hopefully I'll be back next year to coach their U18 final club season, so that's pretty neat. We actually, when I went home this summer for a week, we had a pickup session with the club, and my entire family was out at this pickup session, which was a little unusual, I'm not gonna lie. Having your dad and mom on the same field as you is a little bit weird. It was definitely, you know, having grown up with them not really even knowing and having them learn the sport to then have them playing with you, I didn't know what to call them on the field, so.
And also we hear that you might not be the last Thompson here. Your sisters may be coming here as well. I mean, I know it's very early in the process for them, but...
They're considering. Becky wants to go into soccer, so she probably won't. She's looking more West Coast. They're still juniors, so as you said, it's quite early. As Helen, though, is very interested in doing field hockey at university, and her criteria is that it has to be somewhere where they have the ability to sail. So Cornell fits that purpose, as Cayuga Lake is quite close, so she's definitely considering Cornell and knows how much that I've enjoyed it here, so she thinks that it could be a good spot for her as well. It's been quite neat.
Cornell women's field hockey has been very successful over the last few years. What are you looking forward to the most in your last few weeks as a senior with your college career coming to an end?
I think mostly I'm looking forward to playing it out with this team. I think that we have a very strong team this year. I think that we're capable of beating any team that's left on our schedule, and I think that that is something to work for and something that is very exciting for us. I think that we showed we had a good turnout against Virginia on Sunday. It was neat to have the pep band there, and we held them in the first half. We played very well. If we continue to play like that for the rest of the season, like I said, we can take anyone. So, we have Princeton at home this year. They're always a big game. Yale at home, they're a big game. We would just like to see, people coming out to support us and finishing strong. So let's go from there.
I'm Costello here with Kate Thompson, and we just want to thank you for your time and everything. So we just wanted a little inside exclusive of the women's field hockey team, and we want to thank you so much and best of luck this season.